Okay. So I'm excited to get into this one because the father that I'm sitting down with today is, somebody I have a lot of respect for, not just as a father, but as a man. And I actually know Raymond from, back in our high school days. We were never really close back then. We just, knew of each other. But over the last few years, we've connected a lot more, especially through entrepreneurship, fatherhood, and just life in general. And one of the things that always stood out to me is the transformation that he's made. Because if you only know the Raymond of today, it's like you see a disciplined guy, a personal trainer, a nutrition coach, someone pushing himself physically, doing, hybrid races like high rocks, showing up consistently, and really helping other people change, their lives too. But that version didn't just, it didn't just happen overnight. There was a whole journey before that. And a version of Raymond that looked very different through um, or thought very different and probably had to, fight through a lot to become the man who he is today. And on top of that, he's also a father, showing up for his daughter, building his business, and doing his best to balance all of it at the same time. So, yeah, I'm excited for this conversation. But before we get into all of that, of course, I want Raymond to just shortly introduce himself. Or just, I just want to ask you, Raymond, like, how are you feeling coming into this, and how are you feeling being on the podcast?
All right, hey, Andy, yeah, feels good. Thanks for the invite. I'm feeling good today. Feeling good today. Just finished a hell of a workout before I
Mm.
came here.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Um, Curious about the conversation we're gonna have, but I think it's gonna flow. Like you say, yeah, grow grow to know each other, or get to know each other over the last years, more and more, having good conversations. um, from one topic to the other, from fitness to, I think one of our first one-on-one conversations was some years back. We had a workout and a chat and a short type of interview as well. And from there, the ball got rolling. And yeah, expect the same energy this time around.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, okay, you just say you just finished a workout. What was on the schedule today for your workout session? Just before we get
Uh,
further into it, curious to know.
um, well, it was an interesting day because I worked out with two clients. I have two clients that sometimes like to push me.
Hmm.
They have it like train the trainer.
Yeah,
Um, so one client I had strength training. We did shoulder press, lateral raises, and some arms, right? Among other things, we just to
yeah.
keep it short, we went into strength training. And then with the second client, we had basically hip. So then everything from kettlebell swings to burpees to yeah, we just were in it. It was two different levels. It was crazy. I think I burned about checked it on my watch just a while ago, like 900
Yeah.
calories.
Ooh.
And yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Okay.
It
And
was
I
nice.
mean, you say that is these were clients who tend to push you. In what way do you feel like they push the trainer
Um,
instead of the trainer pushing them?
yeah, no, I think it's we know each other quite a while now, almost 3 years or 3 years already.
Mm.
And they've seen me fit doing different things. And when I train them, they think, okay, they're getting better, they're getting stronger. Uh, Let them push me, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun because they both have their different strengths. One is more an athlete. The other one is more very strength oriented.
Yeah.
So training with them is fun, and also to see their progression, right? So not only them pushing me, but seeing, oh, they're capable of this, whereas they weren't before.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, also entrepreneurial. So they are entrepreneurs themselves, have quite a
Oh
large
yeah.
business. So in my entrepreneurial journey, they have been a very good force behind of me going for it, daring to go for it, and just supporting the dream in different ways, from mentoring to sharing ideas and also sharing hard times.
Yeah.
The hard times, the tricky times. So yeah, great
Uh,
relationship there.
that's nice. That's nice. I guess what I like about that is, first of all, I hearing that you got a little dynamic workout going on today. So you got some strength and you get some functional,
Yeah.
but there's also like a mental aspect, a mental side to it where it goes a little bit further than just fitness and training.
Hmm.
But like you said, into the entrepreneurial scene as well, where you kind of, you're surrounding yourself with people that can help, to lift you higher. So just how you, I guess, you feel super fulfilled knowing that like you're seeing their progress.
Hmm.
It's like just being able to get your own growth in that process as well. Yeah, I guess it's an amazing feeling, I can imagine.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely.
Okay, nice, nice. So I want to hit you with a super strong question, right? To open things up. And the question is this: if someone only knows the Raymond they see today, like who is the version of Raymond they would never have expected existed?
Raymond today versus Raymond of the past. Definitely, I would say not fit,
Hmm.
not fit. I'll start there with the fitness. Definitely, some people who know me in the last years think that fitness has been always a part of my life. No, it has not. I've been fitness adjacent my whole life. Father having first gym I saw was a backyard gym that my dad had. I still have to this day. So I've always been close to fitness, but never been into it like that. And
Hmm.
junk food kid.
Mm.
Of course, eat good. Family cook good, eat good, but also just a junk food kid. KFC, Pizza Hut. I mean, yeah, I mean, I remember one time I thought my mom thought I was faking sick, and she ordered a pizza, and when I didn't eat it, then she knew I was serious, right? I remember this is a memory that stick with my head, like
Yeah,
that's how it was.
yeah.
And also just lacking discipline, lacking direction, I would say, to be honest. Just going
Oh,
with the wind.
hold on there 1 second. Yeah. Okay, go. You can get some more books and then you can bring downstairs. Yeah. All right. Close the door for Papa. Now, as we
Yeah,
see,
that's always
that's a clear example of fatherhood
that's
trying to, balance
balance, yeah, in real time.
in real time. In real time. No, but
Yeah.
no, you were talking about, Raymond not being so fit, lacking discipline. Was heavily into junk food. But when you say not so fit, I mean, different people have a different
Different
idea
ideas.
of what not so fit means. Can you visualize that for us a bit? Like,
All right. So let's say I think my weight always kind of yo-yoed, but I've
mm-hmm,
always been the heavier guy, chubbier guy. I think maybe until my first or second year in high school, I wasn't that tall either.
mm,
So the combination, easy target.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um, so yeah, bullying, those type of stuff also happen.
mm,
But so short, chubby, uh, yeah, riding the school bus, you can feel your chest jiggling. I mean, I've
oh
experienced
yeah,
it. And in my adult time, I think I maxed out a little above 120 kilos. And that wasn't that long ago. I've lost the weight, gained it back, and lost it again.
yeah,
In the last let's say 5 years, let's say since the pandemic, it's been going in one steady direction. So since
yeah,
about 2020, started to go just in one steady direction.
yeah,
Gave up the whole bulking and just working on strength, and decided just I want to be fit. I want to be more working towards, I would say, growing older, better or good.
yeah,
Yeah, growing old, healthy.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I did that also by starting a nutrition course. So in 2019, I started a nutrition coaching because I just, with no intentions of actually becoming a trainer initially, I just wanted to understand it more. So I decided
Yeah.
to invest in that education. And as time went on, I was also training people, friends and family, just yeah, casually.
Yeah.
And as time went on, I noticed, oh, this is something that I'm good at. This is something that people are getting improvements with. And I decided that I wanted to be a trainer. Yeah.
Nice. Nice, nice. And just to bring it back a little bit, because I wanted to, tug on something you said a little bit more. You said, when you were, I guess, more on, on the chubbier side, you started to
Mhm.
get, bullied a bit. Like, what was that experience like for you?
Uh, bully. At quite a while ago. Um, I would say it was how can I describe my version of being bullied?
Yeah.
Um, so bullying also, let's say from I would say with no ill intentions, but just if you're the chubby kid or the kid that's a little different, even in your family, then it's a
Mm.
little jokey, right?
Yeah.
So from that initial, what we would know now as bullying, but back then it's just teasing, having fun, whatever. So that was never too heavy-hearted. It was
Yeah.
just cousins being cousins, stuff like that. In school, kids would want to take stuff from me. So from kids taking my lunch money, or
Mm.
one person wanted to take my jacket. Um, yeah, just it was a strange thing because it especially with people who weren't family, that kind of played out fast because at one point I was very done with it, and then
Yeah.
things went the opposite way. And then I became overcompensating for being
Okay.
bullied. Um, and that lasted for too long, I would say. Just having to prove myself, wanted to pick up for others who I see getting bullied, and having a I don't take nothing from no one attitude that wasn't really productive. It
Yeah.
went from I won't say I ever went from being the bullied to the bully, but I
Yeah.
definitely had overcompensation from being a little scared to, okay, I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
So what did,
that
yeah.
also, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm curious to know, like, what did that, because I understand what you're saying, where probably the bullying wasn't so much from necessarily like other friends or just like random people, but it's like from those kind of closest
Mhm.
and dearest to you. But it came over in the form of teasing, and of course, like, that doesn't feel good. I remember, this is nothing compared to your situation, but I used to always have this, like, this thing with my hands. Like, I had very, very rough hands, almost
Mhm.
like sandpaper like. And I used to be very self-conscious of it, because people would always mention it, like my parents or family, and just really say, like, yeah, like, you could sand down wood and stuff like that. And it's meant jokingly, but it's crazy, how that played in my mind so much, where even when it came to a point of, when you got interested in girls, and having like physical contact, I kind of realized, like, I was almost afraid to like touch, because I
Mm.
didn't want him to say, like, oh, but your hands feel so rough,
Rough.
and stuff like that. So so that's why I want to know, and you touch on it a bit, but aside from the physical, like, what did going through that period, like, like, happen to, like, what did that cause by you mentally?
Um, so again, the part with the family, that for sure, uh, now that I can remember, ever came over mean.
Hmm.
Um, so I think, and we are very very jokey with each other, like
Playful.
very
Yeah.
playful. So then it wouldn't only be me. I would be teased based on being clumsy or overweight or chubby, for example.
Yeah.
So it never really indoors in that circle. It never did too much mentally. I believe I don't have a
Yeah.
trauma that I can recall,
Yeah.
but outside, with the strangers, like who would want to take something from you
Oh
or
yeah.
be mean, or even if you think about if you're doing sports and you pick last, or
Oh
you're
yeah.
picked by your friend, not
Oh yeah.
necessarily because you're good, but that's your friend, or
Yeah.
those little things, okay. And that just was, you wanted to maybe compensate when you could. So yeah, what do I think? Yeah, you just was conscious. Let's say I would say then you were just conscious of it. You were just
Yeah.
waiting for, okay, when am I gonna get picked? Who's gonna pick me? Or
Yeah.
when you're wearing clothes, for example, you're tugging at your clothes. You're trying to make sure everything
Mm.
is in place. Or
Yeah.
um, and with the things of certain bullying, when it would come physical, then that part also became like, okay, that's not gonna fly. That part, I think, and that came more in high school. That, hey, okay, not because I'm chubby, you're gonna do this or that, and
Yeah.
then you start to get into fights and you start
Mm.
to get into trouble because, and in my case, I would say personally, I became the guy that was, I'm gonna hurt you quick before you hurt me because I
Oh
don't want to
yeah.
get hurt, you
Yeah.
know, because you see what happens with some people. So the kids who really got bullied and thrown in a garbage can or some
Oh
crazy
yeah.
things like this, and my thing was, that's not gonna happen to me,
Yeah.
So it's a weird dynamic, and then that grows into certain things. Um, yeah.
And I'm curious. Yeah, and it's a real thing, and I don't think it's something that it's often touched on and or you hear very little about, but it's a very real a very real and live situation for a lot of people, right? In
Hmm.
different ways.
Yeah,
And so what I want to know
definitely.
is what I want to know is um you know what was the what was the moment where you said, oh no, before I go there, I want to know when you were going through this period, right?
Hmm.
um did you feel like you had anyone that you could like talk to about these things? Because and I'm making an assumption here, because you said you kind of not necessarily went to being a bully, but you kind of went on the
I went on the offensive.
on the offensive, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to know if that was because maybe you didn't have somebody to talk to, or maybe you did. But I guess
Hmm.
I should just pull it back and ask: was there anyone that you were even able to like talk to when you were going through this, or was that not really so active in your mind?
Uh, yeah, no, 100%. I had more. I think I had more than enough people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, did I choose to talk to them, or did I know then, oh, you should
Mm,
talk to somebody?
yeah.
No. And
Okay.
I think, especially back in the days, I think we will do it different with our kids, or we're doing it different with our kids to communicate. Um, I grew up with family super loving, I think, but super loving by showing you that they are for you, but
Yeah.
not necessarily communicating that they're there for you. They show you,
Yeah.
anything happen. There's the same one who's teasing you would kill someone for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was very
Energy.
clear. That was
Yeah.
very clear. Hey, we could mess with you, nobody else.
Yeah. I know that
Um,
one.
that was clear.
Yeah.
And talking with someone wasn't the idea, because it was like, I'll deal with this, because again, no one was there when it was happening. So
Mm.
no one in my mind, no one had to fix it. And everything is a little hindsight,
Yeah.
because in that moment, um, it wasn't thinking about it. Um, in most moments, I mean, we know you see it on TV, you see it in real life. You had the guys who, if they get in trouble, they will call for backup. I always functioned, although I had a lot of support, people who would protect me. I always functioned like it's do or die here and now,
Oh yeah.
and help is um, welcome, but not like I was depending on it. So
Yeah.
it was very when it didn't need to be. I think it really didn't need to be that. It was very survival mode.
It was just
For
yeah.
some reason, it was very survival mode. Um, and I remember even once saying that hey, I think you can better visit me in prison instead of at the graveyard. You know,
Mm.
I don't know if it's music, if it's TV, if it's things I felt, just energy,
Yeah.
um, that I thought this was normal. For some
Yeah.
reason, although I wasn't seeing anybody really around me in my house or in that was living like that, but for some reason
Yeah.
I had that feeling, and it was very, I think, surprising to my mom, for example, or a certain family that would think, but Raymond is the soft kid, you know, the soft
Uh,
spoken, the soft kid, because I was never like disrespectful
yeah.
or rude, like you would say, like and you know he's the problem. So when something happened, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I was always respectful. I was always soft spoken. But outside it was survival mode. When I left the
Yeah.
yard, it was survival mode. Everything was
Yeah.
just a threat. You know, if you're not a friend, you're a threat, a potential threat. So but those are things I also try to communicate to young men now. For example, my siblings, my young cousins, and even to older people when they judge the youngsters. Sometimes they just don't know you just don't know what you're doing. Some kids are consciously busy, and some kids are in survival mode. Some kids are confused. Um, and yeah, I just had a moment, long moment, but a
Yeah.
moment working out stuff that I didn't talk about or I didn't see anybody talking about things. So it was acted out,
Yeah.
acting. Yeah. So basically, I was acting out
Acting
at a
on.
certain point
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
you know, and learning how to talk. So even this conversation, being able to just share, like, hey, this is what I was doing. This is so you don't feel, I don't embarrassed. I don't know what it would be, but you don't feel you know, I have like quite a bit of years that I feel like, yo, this is what it was. I survived a
Correct.
lot of stupid things, things that if I talk about, we're not gonna talk about, but if I talk about, then you'll be
Yeah.
like, huh? But
Yeah.
oh, why? That I went outside too. That never happened to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I just happy that I survived those things, and that I could lend a ear, or hopefully that I could understand somebody and say, hey, I understand. Let me help you.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's it.
And that's a beautiful thing, just because, and beautiful in the sense of course, it's not beautiful that it had to happen to you or that you had to feel that way going through that period. But you being where you are now, having experienced what you've experienced, has now put you in a place to touch those young ones who you can see are maybe on a similar path, and you can have a lot more understanding and compassion towards what they might be going through, and you may
Mm,
be able, maybe may even be able to touch them quicker than a family member would, because it's like you've been there, and it's like
yeah,
you know what it's like to go through that, and that it's not necessarily needed, right?
yeah.
And so, like, now I want to shift a little bit, and I just want to know, like, what was the moment for you where you said, okay, enough is enough, with Raymond, who was in survival mode, Raymond, who was chubby, overweight, Like, what was that moment for you? Can you remember what was the, like, maybe what the trigger was that made you say, okay, enough is enough. I need to make a change.
Um, I would say, um, what was maybe the one of the or maybe the most pivotal part was when my stepdad got sick.
Mm,
My stepdad got sick, uh, cancer, and a sense of responsibility. I was still young. I was here in Netherlands studying, um, and a sense of like, oh, okay, when he passed away, a sense of okay, I gotta look out for some people. Again, I'm young. My mom is still looking out for me to an extent. But just feeling like, okay, the man of the house is gone. Okay, I gotta start to be an example. Like, but was still quite an angry youth, to be honest. Still
yeah.
getting a little trouble, not that much, but still getting a little trouble. Again, not being able to express things enough. Um, Still hard to react. And when my friend Buck Arinaldo, when
Mm,
he got killed, um,
mm,
the switch flipped eventually. I didn't go from being angry to not angry, but I kind of started to realize like, yeah, I think that was the closest person to me to end up in a situation, and maybe even not to don't I don't know how this could not be misunderstood, but in a situation that I maybe thought I would have been in
yeah.
at some point in my life,
Yeah.
and seeing it happen to him, how it happened to him, it was like, oh, this like a spin, like, okay, this don't make no sense.
Hmm.
And then to be honest, and this might be a little, I don't know if it's faint or it's just it was another trigger. As much as we had our things, we weren't close at the moment when he passed away, like close in contact.
Yeah.
But our last conversations were just about change, changing environment. He promised me he would change his environment, um, and he didn't. And then, yeah, that caused him to lose his life.
Yeah.
And I remember reading, it's not just before, just after that. I read in a book where the author said, choosing your friends is a matter of life or death. And again, really around that time, and either so he passed away and it came to mind, or after. But however, it started to be like a environment. Talk to him about changing environments, um, seeing what I am, and an aunt of mine told me something. She was like, maybe you should stop going out. Maybe you should stop. Leave people forget about you. Just leave
Yeah.
people forget about Raymond. Just stay inside. If you want to do something when you come down on vacation, come to my house. You could do the domino tables there. While I'm in Holland, just stay away from the parties. Leave them forget you. Because she say, you don't have much backing down in you. So that's a problem. Somebody want to be the person who could prove that they could put you down.
Yeah.
And that's thinking like, huh, for real. 'Cause I always used to think like I'm not problematic. But always coming over like I'm problematic,
Yeah.
you know? And I realized I was from my overcompensation of, hey, this might be life or death. So I acting like it is.
Yeah.
And then people see that overreaction, you know? Yeah. So bit by bit, all of those things start to puzzle together over the years. So it don't have an exact time that I say this is what it is, but from 2012, let's say 13, 14, took some close losses, people passing away,
Yeah.
and then the advice eventually from my aunt, and I think around 2015, I just started to take a step back, just started to be in the gym more, be
Yeah.
in the clubs less, change who I hang with, uh, and start to yeah, just start to think like you don't have nothing to prove. You
Mm.
have nothing to prove to nobody. Um, yeah, that's it. That yeah. I think that's it.
Mm.
A chain of things that just eventually come together, and it was like this is what it is. And
Yeah.
after a while, I started to notice when certain things do happen, my reaction will be different because and I sit and high in my emotions. I in the gym, I get my frustrations out, I dealing with processing things in a different way. Instead of waiting for the next party to have fun or to
Yeah.
just maybe getting drunk or you just, you're in a tense environment where you know things would happen. Um, and one point, I think maybe 2016 or 17, something happened and my mom told me she was proud of how I reacted because she said
Mm.
the me she know before, it would have been something. And that stickered me. And that was just more motivation to keep it that way. Start to
Yeah.
process things. You're not scared of nobody, so you don't have to let them know that you're not scared of them. Just don't react. Just and I think that was my saving grace when I realized I don't have anything to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So, yo, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm so like so caught up in what you're saying. It's it never ceases to amaze me the depth behind a person. There's like
Hmm.
so many layers that you have no clue like what is going on. And that's why, it's always true to what they say. It's like be kind to everybody because you honestly never know what is really bubbling under the surface.
Hmm.
And it could be like again, it could be somebody with a smile on their face, but you just do something and trigger them in the wrong way and it can just explode, you know?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so what I'm understanding from you, it was definitely so a series of events. So of course, rest in peace to your stepfather and to your to Buck, your guy. But having your stepfather pass away is where you first felt like that sense of responsibility come over you that hey, okay, I need to start making a move or moves where I can, step up a little bit more, even though I'm far away, I can step up a little bit more and be the proverbial man of the house.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then you lost you lost your guy, um, and that kind of I guess in a mental way, you kind of probably saw yourself easily maybe being in his shoes
yeah,
and thought, like if this was to happen to me, this would not be, I guess maybe, and again I'm filling it in, this is not the way that I would want to go out,
yeah,
almost, you know
yeah, yeah,
and then of course, yeah, when the ladies in our lives like give us some words and they can tend to hit differently, so give thanks to your aunt who again put a thought of take a step back. Everybody don't have to see Raymond stepping out
yeah,
everywhere. You don't have to be up in every event that's going on.
mhm,
And then of course, with when moms kind of give like praise and show some proudness of the Raymond who reacted this way in this situation. Like
yeah,
I'm happy to see him because I guess maybe for her it was this is not like she lost her son, but this is the Raymond, the Raymond I know who can rise above situations, who
yeah,
can come out on top and say, I'm not gonna like you tug on my rope, but I'm not gonna react right away, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so then that kind of put you on this path of again like getting it. I think you did mention like you started going through like a nutritional program, and then you started hitting the gym, and so I almost want to ask what came first? Was it the physical transformation or the mental? But what would you say kind of came first? Was is it more the mental or the physical?
Uh, Phew. I would say I would say the mental,
Hmm.
but not far behind the
Never,
physical.
yeah, yeah.
Not far behind the physical. Um, because I did start with fitness
Hmm.
before the things happened. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I remember when I got the phone call from a friend of mine that what happened to book. I literally had finished workout, like
Mm,
literally just press pause on the button at home workout, and then I get the call, and because you're in one mode. I mean, I
correct.
think most people who get any call like that, you wasn't thinking anything like that would be the phone call.
Exactly.
So I came out of a workout and got a call and couldn't process what was going on. What? But a step before that also was with my stepdad being sick, and then thinking, okay, he stopped drinking. Of course, he was sick, so he stopped drinking, and then I also stopped drinking
Mm,
for a whole
yeah,
year. I just was like anti-alcohol, off not anti-alcohol, but I didn't consume alcohol for a year.
yeah,
Just off of it didn't play a role in what was going on at the time.
yeah.
And to backtrack again, everything I could see it backwards. When my grandmother passed away, I slowly started to drink and get angry. So
Mm,
that's where it slowly started um, to go the wrong way. When my stepdad was sick, I thought, okay, I need to sober up and process what happening because it felt like it could. I don't know, something in my stomach. I was in the club one night and I had a drink in my hand. I just put it down, and for a year,
that
I
was it.
just, yeah, I just literally just was like, this don't feel right
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
And it was no pressure. It wasn't no temptation. It just was no place for me.
yeah. It was like it's time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just needed a switch.
And so, yeah, so you made that shift to a more healthier Raymond. And so now, kind of bringing it over into, let's say, like your discipline now and, being a father now. Like, how did becoming healthier change the way you show up as a father now today?
Well, definitely energy, definitely energy because these
Yeah,
kids, they could run me down.
these kids.
Uh, yeah. So definitely the energy that I have. I would say also the ability to be um, fun like a fun dad, active dad.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, that's something that I saw, for example, with Lance. That I saw
uh,
how he was with his kids as well, active, just moving around. And slowly, as
yeah,
me and him started to get closer, I started to see that as, oh, that's the type of dad I want to be. Nothing against my dads, but they weren't those type of dads. And I
correct.
found that was quite fun. That was quite
Yeah,
involved. So not just being there paying the bills, lending advice, and you feel safe, but actually a dad who you could play with,
participate. Yeah,
yeah, and I think that was where it started for me. Like, hey, I want to be a little like this, and I feel like this is fun, and then being able to do certain things with my daughter. So that's again playing on the ground, but also if I need to um, carry her, um, it didn't it didn't come so clear to me until it was necessary. A lot of things when it was necessary, I was like, oh, being a fit dad means that I can have these uncomfortable positions. I can hold these
uh,
uncomfortable positions for so
yeah,
long.
yeah,
Um, I can go for longer if I'm tired. Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. So I remember there was a saying that I heard, and it went something along the lines of, like the struggle and the pain that you are experiencing now is
Hmm.
preparing you for something that hasn't happened. And because for you, like the training, like that whole physical transformation, you probably had to push yourself mentally, physically, emotionally,
Hmm.
sometimes to just get out of bed after a long day to go and get a workout in.
Yeah.
But not knowing that, when you that day came for you to be a father, for your daughter who's almost 4 years, and like you said, sometimes having to like do these weird positions because they always want to jump on you last minute too, and that your back don't get through out or something.
Yeah.
Not knowing that all that training
Preparation.
and preparing you for these type of moments and stuff. So, with that said, like what I want to ask you is, do you think fathers tend to underestimate how their physical well-being, their physical state, like affects their family?
Definitely, definitely. I think I think it's I I think in general, parents um just start to focus on careers and kids and the
Yeah.
fun things. And if they have interest in training, they do it. But for the most part, it's training is something for the young people, for the people who want to look good, for
Oh
the people
yeah.
who have time, who have
Like they're
time.
vain. Like they just for people who
Yeah,
just want to
like
be
yeah,
vain and or
people who have
aesthetics.
time and yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy for them or it's expensive for me. It's a lot of reasons, a lot of ideas, a lot of reasons behind it. But if you look at our peers in general, um, eventually the life that they live in, whether with the kids or not. You see the new parents often you gain some weight, life a little up in the air,
Yeah.
fine. That's part of it. But before or after that, our peers often don't have the lifestyle of fitness, right?
Mm.
Or wellness, fitness,
Yeah.
wellness,
Yeah.
that self-care. And people think self-care, again, maybe for the ladies, self-care is their makeup, the nails, the this and that. And for the men is a
Hmm.
haircut or fresh gear, whatever. But from somebody who grew up, let's say, also with the name brand is important and the shoes, and now when I look at my body, or I feel how I feel, and I have my aches and pains because I ain't
Yeah.
a young boy no more, and I have a lot.
Yeah.
Most of my peers, not I not to sound vain
You,
or anything,
yeah,
but
you're not
can't
putting
can't
yourself higher,
can't
but
yeah can't keep up with me when it comes to certain things. And I
yeah.
think that's not because I'm necessarily better, because I was always a chubby kid, whatever. And I have a lot of friends who are athletic or are capable also, you
Yeah.
know. But just they don't see it. If they're strong, they think, okay, I'm strong, but they don't think things like visceral fat around the organs. They don't think about
Mm,
bone degeneration, muscle degeneration, the things that naturally happen to us that fitness
yeah.
fight against. So a lot of times, and um, yeah, maybe we could campaign harder, or maybe I could campaign harder on that, so people could try to realize I don't do this for the aesthetics is nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the capability to do certain things, but I also understand that things happen. We could get sick. We could get a lot of things could happen that out of our control. But me showing up, going to the gym, me choosing. to bake my chicken instead of frying my chicken. Me, like the decisions that are in, and that it's not perfect
Yeah.
because I do indulge, but I try to put so much on the other side that indulgement can't tip the scale, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Indulgement just rests on the scale like a feather,
Uh,
and then I go
oh, I
back.
like that.
So I think if we start to think more like that, our peers not gonna be walking around with these bellies far in front of them, or complaining about the aches and pains, and a day I gotta start, and a day I gotta start. And what I think, but again, everyone have their drive, and
Yeah.
only when it's important to you, it's important to you. For example, because it's easy to talk and not give an example, but if somebody listening to this is would like, what I did is, I start to go to the gym, and when people ask me to go to do something on the weekend, I would say, well, I going to the gym. Yeah, but is this and this time? Yeah, but I going to the gym. So
Yeah.
you could come to the gym, we could train, and then maybe we could grab a bite or
Yeah.
whatever, but I going to the gym.
Mm.
Because the other part of that before was where I start gym, stop gym, start gym. Because I was I was dependent
Dependent. Yeah.
on somebody else motivation. So
Uh,
okay, we plan to go to the gym, and hey, I'm running late, I tired. And I'll be like, okay, tomorrow then.
yeah.
Then it's that to be okay, cool. And I go. And then some people will get offended, like, but you know what? No, but I go into the gym.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
became
Yeah.
that became so important to me as a place of my expression, a place of peace, a place of results, something that I had control of. And
Yeah.
you have theory behind this. Like a lot of people who feel like they didn't have control or don't have control of life excel sometimes in fitness and sports because there's where
Yeah. You have
their
control.
effort often come back in the results, so you have control
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
So that was a place for me, somebody who had less discipline growing up, tried a lot of sports, but didn't excel in them because, yeah, I didn't see the
Yeah.
need to plug in and just keep with it. And then I realized, oh, but so you would never describe Raymond growing up as athletic, not
Yeah.
ever in your life. And I was looking up something the other day, and then the results was like athletic, and then something else, and it was like athleticism. And seeing words associated with my doings
Yeah.
that you think, huh,
Yeah. This
okay,
could be
yeah,
different. Yeah.
yeah, really and truly. And this is like later in my fitness
Yeah.
career, let's say, that being compared to an athlete and an aging, and I'm like, but this is actually pretty nice because I know there's a timer on all of this,
Yeah.
right? There's a timer on all of this, but I want to give it all I got and also go away from the just pounding away at my body to, hey, I want to be able to get up off the ground without groaning. As
Yeah.
simple as I want to get up off the couch without,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
walk up the stairs without simple
Correct.
things I want out of life. It take a certain effort, and people might be stuck on the aesthetics, the big picture. But for me, the
Yeah.
big picture is how I feel. My feet don't hurt because I
Correct.
overweight. My back don't hurt because my belly is sticky. I had chronic back pain from somewhere in my teenager until 20 something, until I lost weight, and then I was like, oh, the
Mm.
back pain is gone. The
Yeah.
feet pain is gone. Oh,
Yeah.
that so then that's also a motive. But if you never achieve it because you don't link it, then you don't have that good feeling, that good realization to say, oh, I'll keep this up because actually I feel good. I
Yeah.
feel light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You touch on so many. You touch on so many. I ain't gonna even lie. Like you touch on so many good things. Yeah. And I want to go into everything, but like, just because of time, like I'm not going to, but just a couple of things. Coming
Mm-hmm.
back to, what you was talking about where, like our family members and friends know like they should be, taking fitness a little bit more serious. But
Mm-hmm.
but then they tend to say, yeah, but you're not like I'm too tired to do this, or like I got pain, so I can't go train. And I remember this one thing that used to always push me was because you're tired is why you have to go train. Because you're feeling this pain is why you need to go and train. And just coming on to the last thing where you just say, you had back pain, right? So you had a reason not to go. But
Mm-hmm.
because you had that back pain is why you should train. Like because you had knee pain is why you should train. And again, like something else that you say on top of that was now because you're experiencing the results or the effects of now that being consistent and being disciplined in training, skipping the going out, or when people say like, yeah, we're gonna go today, and you still say, hey, nah, that's fine, you gonna go, but I going still go.
Yeah.
Now because you experience those results and those effects, now you have this internal motivation. um but it just comes from what I like to, and something I've been teaching my kids as well, which is confidence. And confidence comes from competency. And your competency is developed by doing something over and over and over again. And
Mm-hmm.
because you've been doing that thing over and over again and getting the results and seeing the results, it's like just like you would say like, I'm gonna do this more often because it's
Yeah.
like I'm feeling good. Like again, like I can get up out of my chair without trying to struggle or leaning on one side just to get up. Aside
Right.
from the wear and tear, but it just puts you in a much better position in life. And so now coming back to you, now you went on this route because this is not necessarily a podcast on like personal training, etc.
Yeah.
But it's about your transformation, right? And now you went from somebody who was again chubby and like mindset wise not in the best state, to now helping people, now being a personal trainer, doing these tests where your results coming out as like, I'm athletic, I'm well in my 30s, but I'm athletic, I'm being associated with high athleticism. Again, going into personal training, what do you think that has been so important for you going into personal training? And do you feel like helping people is almost like you healing yourself as well?
Mm. Um, well, fun fact, I once
Hmm.
wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I once wanted to be a teacher. I think my last year in high school, I thought about it, being a teacher. And one teacher was supportive that I told about it. The other teacher was that also didn't have a clear sense of direction, so that fell
Yeah.
by the wayside.
Yeah.
But I must say, I this is a long road to answer your question, but
That's
I
fine.
must say that I definitely always had a thing about explaining things that I knew. So things that I figured out, I always had patience. I always had a way of explaining something once I locked it in.
Yeah.
Um, and I think something that is strong with me is giving um, giving the heads up, the leg up that I didn't get.
Mm.
Um, I feel like a lot of people had good intentions for me, but either they didn't have the time or the know-how how to explain, hey, this is
Oh
how you
yeah.
do this. This is how you go about this. This is what you avoid. Um, this is how you come up here. You come up to Holland and you just knock out your 4 or 5 years. You're done. Like come up out. And that I slowly, so not only just in fitness, but in life, I slowly become that person um, that try to give, some people say game, but
Yeah.
So try to kind of learn the words, and some people you help them, they take the advice, and some people get pushed away, or they take themselves out of the environment because they don't want to hear it, or who is you to
Yeah.
say it? You don't
Yeah.
have your life figured out. You don't have what I looking for. You don't have what you telling me. So
Okay.
um, who are you? Um, and that's from fitness to other life things. Especially before now with my physique, I have authority,
Yeah.
right?
Credibility. Yeah.
But before that, I also knew what I was talking about because I
Yeah.
was educating myself. So I started, before I did courses, I just used to save links, study stuff, read up about it, experiment, try. So I wasn't, what is it, gym bro, sciencing. Of course, here and there you do that because, yeah, you try something, it
Yeah.
works. Um, But eventually, I started to see, okay, for some people, the effect that it was having on them when they were excelling in fitness, particularly if we go back to that specifically. And
Yeah.
then I started to see that it was a real job. So that was also a thing. Um, I was like, oh, this is a real job. You're helping people. You're doing programs. You're doing stuff like that. Um, Okay. And then once I started to train people, I just felt good at it. I didn't get any feedback of, hey, you're not so good, or you don't understand, or people weren't getting the results, or they were getting hurt, or no,
Yeah.
it was all kind of flowing because by the time I started to put myself out there, even if it wasn't in an official capacity, I had done so much of the groundwork. I
Yeah.
didn't do all the like I said, the bro science, but it was really just learning from professionals, like Lance and another friend of mine who is a physiotherapist, being willing to listen. That's something I have I think is a good thing about me.
Yeah.
If I think I know something, I listen, and if I don't know something, I listen as well because I gonna not act like I know it. I'm
Correct.
not gonna act like I know it because you can't. If you know it all, you can't be taught,
Correct.
right? So, um, but yeah, the fitness when I see people like feeling better about themselves, being happy. My personal approach to fitness is very oriented about around fun as well. I want you to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like if you enjoy it, you can stick to it. I want to build community, or I do build community. I think I
Yeah.
build quite a strong community of people feeling comfortable around each other, feeling supported, and then also daring to again either challenge me or even support others. So when people come to, let's say, my group classes, I'm super confident that they are going to be supported, not that they're going to be shunned or make fun of or anything, because that's not how I am. You
Yeah.
know, as a coach, very, of course, we can laugh and joke at each other, but it's very much about the respect. And hey, some people are starting at zero, and I like to joke and say even some people are starting in a min.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because some people, I've had a guy who I feel couldn't even run in a straight line,
Okay.
and that was incredible to me. But we built up and we explained and we went and we grew together till he could. So for me, it's all about everyone is starting where they're starting, and we're gonna get you where you want to get to as long as you are ready to put in the work. If
Yeah.
you show up, I'm not a boot camp person at all. I'm not a boot camp coach because that's not my
Yeah.
personality either. Um, I could drill you. I could drill you as hard as you wanna go for it. If you wanna go for strength, understand that it's gonna be heavy literally, but also mentally. It's gonna
Yeah.
take some discomfort. If you wanna do the hybrid stuff, the fitness stuff, okay, you're gonna have to get comfortable with not being able to breathe. like
Correct.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's not, but again, once we're done what we're doing, we laugh, we joke, and we go back at it again. Like, and then people respect that. People also respect to see me doing it. So that's why I still post the stuff. Often I don't have any. We talked about that. I don't have any want to or don't feel like a video of me training again. What value does that add? But
Yeah.
I think people actually see like, oh, coach is busy.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's not asking me to do things that he's not doing himself.
He's not willing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, so even me staying fit, it's like it's partly for myself, but it's also partly for others because that's the type of coach I want to be, the coach that is showing up, not
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to train me under the table or that
Mm.
all of a sudden I have this belly in front of you telling you one more
What
rep.
to do? Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not gonna be the one saying one more rep while you just taking one more bite.
hmm
Yeah.
No, man. I
No,
mean,
but yeah, no, I applaud that because everything that you're saying now just shows that you're the type, you're in a space and in a mentally where you are, being the man who leads by example in his family, but as well as in his business. And that for you, just with that last example you gave of the guy who probably started in the negative, and I think that links together with your brand, living to grow, where
yeah,
you're showing him that this process that we're going through, you're not just living for living's sake. You're living to get better, to improve
yeah,
day by day by day. And I think what was the most beautiful thing in what you just said was the fact that you are trying to keep the fun in it. Because I
yeah,
think for a lot of people, the fun can be sucked out of fitness real fast. And it made me think of my kids, where in these formative years, what's super important is that whether they're doing karate or football or climbing, whatever it is, that they need to have fun, because once you have fun, it helps you to stick with the process
yeah,
a lot longer and dedicate yourself. You can apply yourself better. So I really love that for you. It's not just business, but it goes beyond business and really helping people to grow, to get as much growth out of themselves while they are not just living, but while they are in contact with you at the very
yeah,
least, right?
yeah.
Um, all right, Raymond, we're kind of coming down to the end.
Mm-hmm.
One couple more questions that I wanted to ask, because now we've spoken for about an hour. Um, these conversations are like amazing conversations to have. And just recently, you joined the Soil Brotherhood, one of the calls, the fatherhood calls that we had. And I just wanted to know from you, like first of all, what was your impression? What was your first impression after, or what was your impression after the call?
Um, Impression after the call, I think. The fact that you have other guys, I think it's nice to that you have guys who are willing to communicate,
Yeah.
but also willing to communicate, and this might sound weird or just obvious, willing to communicate sober,
Mm,
just on a Saturday night, sober minds sharing sober thoughts, vulnerable thoughts. I think I think we miss that. I think Um, I try to get that out of some of my peers, um, and that's not where they're at for
yeah.
whatever reason. And I think that's a pity, especially if it comes to people who have enough experience that they could actually, if they learn to chill in those kind of environments, they could contribute a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very it's good that it exists, it's important for especially for the guys who need it. So I think the guys who are there, like myself, and I say need it, maybe not need it like a lifeline, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
could have a place where, hey, let
It
me
adds
talk
value.
about this. Yeah, exactly. Adding value. Like, okay, maybe one day you show up and you receive. And a day
Yeah.
you show up and you say something and someone else receives. And it's just by sharing again. It's not in a
Correct.
loud club. It's not in a bar. It's not with a big group. It's just, hey, let's have a chat. Oh, you experienced this? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're doing it that way now. Oh, I have that also. Yeah, I think it's solid.
That's an interesting, a super interesting take in terms of what you said, men communicating with each other, but not being under the influence. So it's literally you don't have you can't blame what you say on alcohol or some
Mm,
substance. It's
mm,
like you're with yourself, with your thoughts.
mm,
um how much are you willing to express?
mm.
And and I know you said you're trying also with among your peers to try and have these type of open lines of communication. Why do you think, very quickly, like why do you think men struggle with opening up to other men?
I think in general, men aren't raised to communicate.
Mm,
I think from experience, I don't think men are raised to communicate. I don't think men are raised to be soft, to be vulnerable. Um, I think also not raised per se to be overachievers. I think um, I think we're raised to I almost said serve and protect. I
yeah,
think, but something in that sense, like we're raised to provide and protect, like,
yeah,
and that doesn't necessarily come with much communication, right? The women now, generally speaking, are raised to take care, right?
yeah.
Take care, and raise others, right? And you gotta communicate to raise to like really
Correct.
raise somebody.
True.
So I think women are raised like that, and also in the modern days, let's say even from our generation, uh, they raised also to achieve more and protect themselves more because of the past, right? Now the door is open for women, and let's get as much of them as high as possible, which I also applaud, you know. But yeah, I think men just aren't raised like that.
Yeah. And do you think, just a last question, do you think um that space can coexist where men are able to communicate and be, quote unquote soft, but be strong at the same time, and lead and protect?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I would think we are examples of that.
I love that you said that.
I think it's a thing. You have to go through certain things in life. I think especially if you're older, you're not gonna just become a communicator. Again, some guys communicate very well under the influence because
Yeah.
inhibitions are low. You know,
Mm,
yeah. So yeah, it's just different.
yeah.
But being able to communicate sober, um, I think that's a different level of yourself. Um, and things like use like telling people I love you, giving an embrace, a hug. You know, we all often feel as men we do, from a distance or maybe a
Yeah.
handshake. But
Yeah.
really growing up, if you think about it, like really embracing each other
Listen.
and stuff like that. It wasn't done. It wasn't so much done. And now you try to do it more and more because then you think, okay, well, it's me especially like, man, okay, this could be the last time I see this person. Or I really like this person. So,
Yeah.
I don't mind this person being in my space.
Correct.
But learning how to differentiate that also, like, hey, okay, that's my guy. I'll give him a hug. Or, it was like, oh, the girls get hugs, the guys get daps.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
eventually, you notice some of the girls also could just get handshakes and keep it moving.
True.
And some of the guys could get a hug like, hey, good to see you, or hope I see you again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna close it off right here. Just this conversation mainly on the fact where you say that I believe that we are examples of that, that coexistence of being nurturing, being caring, but also still being strong and protective and ready to lead our families or in business or in whatever areas of life that we choose to. All right,
Mhm.
Raymond, brother, this was honestly an amazing conversation.
Yeah,
And just before we wrap up, I want to go through this rapid round just to because it was a I'm not gonna lie, it was a lovely conversation.
yeah.
We're gonna end it on a higher on a high frequency. So I have this fun thing I like to do. I call it a rapid round. So I'm gonna just throw you five short questions. You can answer it, um, yeah, quickly, briefly, and then I'm gonna end with a final question, and then we can just wrap things up. So whenever you're ready, let me know you're ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Now be honest, right? What's harder, training clients or parenting kids?
Kids, kids.
Okay.
All day.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. Okay. The second one, cheat meal. What are we
Mhm.
choosing? What are we choosing for our cheat meal?
Whew. Uh, pizza,
Pizza. Any
pizza.
specific type of pizza?
Um, St. Martin Domino Pizza
Ooh,
Extravaganza with a garlic
ooh,
crust. Yeah,
boom. Okay. For those that don't know, you gotta look it up.
yeah, St.
Um.
Martin.
All right. Number three. Who is stricter, you or your partner?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it. I think most people would be surprised. I think she's even surprised.
Okay. The fourth one. What's one habit every father should build?
Da. Mm. Uh, I think hugging, kissing, and saying I love you when you leave in your family.
Ooh,
Yeah.
felt that one. Felt that one. All right. What's something people assume about you that's completely wrong?
That I am never upset. That I don't get upset. I
Hmm.
think yeah.
I guess that's just a testament to your transformation too.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And now the last thing. Being a father means
Being a father means to me being selfless. Yeah,
nice.
being selfless, sacrifices. Um, yeah, yeah, selfless. I think that's the biggest thing to take away from parenthood. Um, from start till now is being willing to give up parts of yourself. Yeah,
Yeah. Nice for the betterment of your kids.
yeah.
All right. Love it. Brother, again, I appreciate you, being on this call, just allowing me to have this moment, with you to kind of get to know, the man behind the trainer, right? Like, again, what people don't usually see, like you kind of put a lot of that, out there. And I think people would have a lot, a much better idea of, now I understand a lot of the motivations of Raymond and why he does, what he does, the way he does what he does. And so again, I appreciate you, brother. I don't know if you have any
Appreciate you too.
any final words that you want to say before I close things off.
I want to say thanks again for the invite. Um, Thanks again for the energy on here and outside of it. I want to say to those our peers, the younger generation as well. Yeah, don't underestimate what fitness, whether in a big amount or a small amount, don't underestimate what it does for your life. it pours over into your parenthood. It pours over into your business if you have one, or your work. It pours over into different parts of your life because it's one of those things. Just like I think like excelling in music, it requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires being comfortable with being uncertain until you are competent. That word that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah, willing to go through the process to grow your competency. And yeah, I also would say to especially younger ones, I think that don't 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 feel bad being misunderstood or not heard. Um, but talk up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you feel unheard or misunderstood, but you're not communicated, not
Yeah.
at least not in the way that you need to. So take a moment, evaluate again as a younger person. Sometimes things is moving too fast, and you don't know. But yeah, if you come across this, know that it's okay to be misunderstood and not heard. But you gotta communicate to somebody. You gotta pull on the line, ask for help, express, and in a positive way. Don't just express and show up, but express in a positive way. Because not everybody could be as lucky as me, or
Yeah.
as lucky as
Yeah.
some of us, to make it this far and have the opportunity to change. Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to leave it on that because I don't think I could have closed off the episode any better. Thank you, the listener, for tuning in. If you've made it this far, I'm going to leave everything in the description of wherever this is going to be posted, so you can connect with Raymond. You can check out for the fathers, for the men out there. You can check out the mentorship, the space, the community, the Soil Brotherhood. Thank you guys again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.